Slime Isekai Memories is a recently released gacha hero collector anime game inspired by the hit anime series That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Honestly, when I first heard this game was coming out, I thought it was the global release of Tensura King of Monsters. I was happy to be wrong though, because I'm really enjoying Slime Isekai Memories a lot more than I did Tensura King of Monsters. What is up, my dwellers of the interwebs? It's your vampiric VTuber host Sorasyn, and welcome to my channel. Slime Isekai Memories characters are 3D cel-shaded models that look accurate to the anime. You can earn several characters as you progress through the story, as well as through the gacha system. There is no main character customization, though you can apply various different outfits that you can earn when you get characters with different outfits on them. Thankfully, the character designs aren't chibi. I'd be very disappointed if they were. I prefer full character models over small, stubby ones. It will always be one of my big disappointments with other anime games. I'm just really not a chibi character type of person, except in the anime itself. Slime Isekai Memories is actually quite deep in what it has to offer so far. Just upgrading your characters has many extra features. Not only do you have to level your characters, but you also have to unlock the ability release levels, which have 5 tiers to gradually unlock. You have to also awaken them by getting duplicate characters through the gacha. Awakening will increase their level cap, so it's quite valuable to get duplicates, but also very hard since it relies predominantly through the gacha system. You also have to create equipment and level them up in order to make your characters stronger. I like this a lot because it adds an extra amount of features that you have to focus on. And finally, there's the abilities. You have to go into the specific ability dungeon in order to gather these tokens. You can also craft your items for your characters as well as level them up and evolve them in order to make your character stronger. In order to find the materials needed to craft your items, you have to be able to grind the quest missions. I like to find the last hardest difficulty mission that I have completed and offline grind that with the remaining stamina I have left over. And yeah, that's right, there is actually offline grinding in the game. The offline grinding is called parallel processing, and once you've activated parallel processing and used the amount of stamina that you want to use, you cannot proceed with any other quests while parallel processing is in progress. As for the quests themselves, there is actually 4 categories that you can choose from. You have the quests or the story missions, which is pretty straightforward. Then there's the training missions. These missions involve the leveling of missions for gold, as well as getting the ability tokens to unlock your ability release menu. Predator Battle is actually one of the more unique dungeons in the training missions overall. In the Predator battles, you actually have to beat the monster until it's weak enough that Rimuru can use his Predator skill to absorb the monster, thus you are able to gain skill tokens. The event missions unlock after you reach a certain amount of EP. This current event is called Conquest, and this is where you can get crafting materials for attribute-specific equipment. The required EP is quite high, so I have yet to actually try it because I still need to get more EP for my whole team. As of today, a new event has appeared in the game. It's called Nation of Monsters Diabolic Secretary. In this event, there are 2 mission types. You have the story mission and then another mission type, which is a short story mission type of thing that gives you 100 gems. The main story type missions gets pretty hard when you get into the normal difficulty. I'm actually currently stuck because the next normal difficulty requires 150,000 EP, which I only have 146,000 as of making this video. So I need to enhance my characters before I can progress with this new event mission. There's also tokens that you can buy items with. One of these items is an awakening stone for the free 4-star character they handed out today. So the more you grind this event, you can fully awaken this character they gave you. You can also use the tokens to buy the Butler's House, a limited event town item. The only issue I see is that there is no AFK grind for the event, so you have to manually do it over and over again, and the amount of times needed or currency needed is a lot to get all the items they are offering. So you would have to sit there and keep repeating the same missions for multiple days. But that's why this event lasts for 1 month. This is probably the reason it's so long, because they're hoping that you will pace yourself instead of just going like crazy in the first few days. I don't like how the new event story scenes are not fully voiced. The characters just make gestures, vocal noises, or just small phrases, but they don't actually say what's written, unlike the official story. I find that kind of disappointing. That's not really what I like, but I can get over it. It just makes me not really want to read the story. I'm just kind of like that. That's just my personal preference. There is going to be a Predator mission for this event, but it's not open yet. So that should be pretty interesting as well. Overall, this event seems really cool. It has added 2 new characters in the summoning. One is Diablo and the other is Shion. Though sadly Shion is a protection character in this new summoning event. I did get her, however, so that's pretty cool. But I would really want an SSR Combat Shion. The request section is where you can find missions or items that your characters will want from you based on the level of your bond with them. Sometimes they'll ask for certain crafting materials or to do combat missions, and usually the reward will be a health potion, and these health potions are actually stamina replenishing items for your account. Now, the next big thing that they've included in this game is the building of your own town. Now, if you watch the anime, you know that part of the series is building a town and turning it into a city for all types of monsters and humans to go and trade and live there. So just like in the anime, in the game you can also do that, and over time you can watch your town turn into a bigger town and into a city. But in order to do this, a lot of time has to be sunk into the game because there's a lot of base building which requires time to wait unless you use paid currency or ask assistance from people in your friends list to cut down on the time. So there is also value in adding lots of people to your friend list, because the more people you add to your friend list, the more time you can cut from your waiting time on buildings. I think this is a really nice feature. It's quite unique for a Gacha hero collector game. I don't know if everyone will like it because, like I said, there's a lot of time that you have to put in, but if you're patient and you know you can just put the game down to do something else while you're waiting, it's really not that bad. Currently, I have almost 20 hours of game time in the game, and I have almost 5,000 citizen population. My town has grown quite a lot, and I'm pretty happy with that. A really cool feature involving the town is how you're able to walk around the town that you've been building and interact with the people living there. Every now and then, certain characters will have little hearts next to their name, which is for a bonding conversation, as well as maybe a combat mission or an item that they are asking for. In return, you get a health potion. I think this feature is really cool. It's quite nice to be able to roam around the town that you've been building and see all the buildings up close and personal. And since you can move about all the buildings, there's extra personality involved because you made it. One of the things I'm also really happy about, well actually I'm really super happy about in this game, is how they're weaving in a new story combined with the original story. Now, I originally thought I had to rewatch every cutscene to catch the new story, but actually on each story mission, if it's new content, it will actually say new content above the story mission that you have to select. So, if you've seen the anime and you want to skip the cutscenes, you can do that because you just skip the ones that don't say new content unless you want to watch it, which I have been doing a lot. But if you want to just only see the new scenes, you can just skip all of them until you see missions that say new content on it. So far, I'm really enjoying the new content. It's done in a way where it tries to weave it into the main story as if it's meant to be there. And I think that's really cool. Whether or not this game is going to be canon to the actual story, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know, but I would like to hope that maybe it would. Since this is a hero collector game, the combat is pretty much as you'd expect from this type of game. You have your team on one side, the enemy on the other. But even though your team is a party of 5, 6 if you include the protector character, 11 in total if you include the support characters, there is only 3 that show up in the combat map. The other 2 will only appear if one or more of your characters have gone down. There's also ultimates in this game, but how you use your skills is a little bit different from what I'm used to with other Hero Collector games. You have a bunch of cards on the bottom that are different colors: blue, green, and orange. Blue attack cards aid to the protection hero's power, green cards aid to the skills power-up, and orange cards aid to your ultimate power-ups. And each card has faces of that unit, so each unit that acts with that color will aid to those certain power-ups. When the blue power-up is full, then you can use your protection hero's ultimate. For example, mine is Milim. She adds a defensive boost to my team when she's activated. When you have enough skill points, you can use skills from your characters. Now this is where it's a little bit different from your other Hero Collector games. Instead of being able to use your skills attached to the cards, you have to grow the points so that you can activate the skills using the green cards. So if you don't have a lot of green cards, your skill meter is not going to go up that high. And then, I think if you use certain skills more than once, the cost of it goes up. Or at least it seemed that way for me when I used a healing skill. The second time around, it cost double what it was originally. I also find this game is quite challenging. It's not as easy as some Hero Collector games. The monsters do hit hard, and elemental-based characters do seem to matter a fair bit, because if you're fighting a wind enemy with a wind character, they're just not going to do enough damage, and maybe they'll die. So you won't get the full 3 stars on your mission. Or, if they're an element that's weaker, then you're really screwed. So you need to actually try and have at least one of each elemental character so that you can mix and match depending on the encounters you face, especially in the harder modes like Expert. I feel like I need to get more varied elemental characters for those harder missions. There is no player versus player, no arena, everything is very much player versus environment in this game. I have no idea if they will put PvP, and I know for some that might put you off. But for me personally, I'm not a big fan of PvP, so I'm more than happy with what the game has to offer. Since there is no PvP, you don't really need to worry about who's the best character to use. So if they do have a limited banner coming out in the future, just pick the one you like the most and go from there. Visually, I think this game is quite beautiful, and I'm very much enjoying the anime-style aesthetics, and the cel-shaded character designs are very nice to look at, and everything seems very anime accurate. I'm really excited to be able to try and hopefully get new characters so that I can enjoy their visual looks as well. I especially like how if you have the same character and they're wearing a different outfit, you can actually apply that to your character in the interaction menu. Similar to that Konosuba Fantastic Days game. Sadly, these costumes cannot be visually seen in combat because each character is an individual unit and not one character that can be dressed up to be used. So, if you want to see the different outfits in combat, you have to swap out your characters to the one that you like. Unless it's not strong enough, or it's not a combat character, then all you can do is just look at it. Overall, I'd say that this is a very fun game, and I'm happy that it's come out for the global audience. There is so much for you to do, and yes, some of it takes time, but when you figure out all the things that need to be done in order to unlock parts of the town, it feels like the wheels start to move pretty quickly, until you reach the next roadblock. But I feel like the intervals where you have to stop are okay. Like I've said before, you can just put your team into the AFK grind and come back to the game later. If you're a fan of Hero Collector games, I really think you should give this a try. You would be pretty happy with what this game has to offer. And if you love the anime, then I highly recommend it to you. So there you have it. That's my first impression on Slime Isekai Memories. Please do not be offended if my opinions differ from yours. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please drop a like and subscribe if you did, and also perhaps hit that bell icon if you'd like to stay up to date on all my upcoming content. All my social links are in my description below. I'm mainly active on my Twitter, so please follow me there for the latest news regarding my channel. Until next time, take care, be safe. This is your lovely vampire Sorasyn, signing off.